I built two real AI agents for GRC work. One broke immediately, the other broke in a completely different way. Both taught me something worth showing you before we even get to whether they actually worked or not. What an AI agent actually really means, if you've just heard the term thrown around. Two real builds, the real bugs I hit debugging both of them, and the security principles I built in from the start so neither one could go rogue. An AI agent has a goal. It works through whatever tasks are actually needed to reach it inside the guardrails you actually give it. Calling tools, querying real systems, adjusting as it goes without free reign to do whatever it wants. That's exactly what both of these do. I gave each one a goal and real limits, and neither one went rogue. The first agent checks a real AWS control and opens a real GitHub issue if it finds drift. First run, the real error was expected string or byte like object got dicked. The agent hit this twice, correctly refused to file a fabricated GitHub issue, and explained exactly why. A tool error isn't a compliance finding, and treating it like one would put a false violation into a real audit trail. That test found the real bug. The agent SDK passes every tool call as a single dict argument, no matter what the function signature declares. My function expected a name string parameter. It was actually receiving the whole argument's dict. Real results this time, compliant, with the actual encryption rules attached. And it went even further. It flagged that AES 256 satisfies the generic control, but a stricter internal policy might require a custom managed key instead, and said it would need my actual system security plan to make that call. It didn't guess either way. A real bug found through actual testing instead of guessing, and a result that shows the difference between passing a check and actually knowing what secure enough means for this specific system. The second agent maps a completely different regulation, in this case, the EU AI Act, against my own real NIST control library in Notion to genuinely find gaps. Different bugs this time. A 400 error calling Notion's API, invalid request URL. Isolated it by testing the raw API call directly with curl outside the agent entirely. Found I was using a newer data sources endpoint that didn't match the API version I was authenticating against. The database's ID query endpoint was the real fix. This one didn't come back clean, and that's the point. My controls are all AWS infrastructure logging, CloudTrail, encryption, access policies. The EU AI Act wants application layer logging of the AI system's own behavior, different layer entirely. The agent even caught that my own database was missing data it claimed to have and flagged that itself instead of ignoring it. The best part, it noticed my existing CM6 control, tagging plus CI checks, is actually the cheapest way to close several of those gaps. Since the enforcement machinery already exists, I hadn't thought of that. A real gap analysis, not rubber stamped, and insight about my own systems I wouldn't have caught myself. Both of these have write capable pieces, and I sculpt them the same restrained way as everything else on this channel. Least privilege scoping. Agent 1's AWS role is read only, and for the check itself, GitHub scoped only for opening an issue. Agent 2's Notion integration is read only, shared with exactly one database, nothing else in my workspace. Read only by default, neither agent auto-remediates anything. They detect and report. A human still decides what happens next. Credentials never hard coded. Every key lives in an environment variable, set fresh each session, never in the code itself. The GRC discipline mattered more here than the AI itself. Same restraint applied to a new kind of system. Both agents got something right, specifically because they refused to guess. Agent 1 wouldn't file a violation it couldn't prove. Agent 2 flagged a mismatch in its own data instead of quietly working around it. The actual skill in building these things is knowing when they don't know something yet, not making them sound confident. Two agents, two real bugs, two fixes found by actually testing instead of guessing, and both of them showed better judgment under uncertainty than a lot of monitoring tools I've used that just don't. Subscribe for weekly GRC and AI governance intel. Comment which agent you want a deeper build video on, the continuous monitoring agent or the gap assessment agent. Also, don't forget, I have a free GitHub portfolio starter kit linked below if you want a place to document builds like this yourself.